Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to the Torment Tides of Numenera beta. Let's talk to Casimon and Mimion again, and see if they have anything new to say now that we have gotten the information about the cast-off we need to look for, and fixed the clock for them. You return, revered one. How may we assist you today? Well, do you have any supplies you could share with me? Share? Oh dear. We are a small group and not wealthy. We exist on donations, curios, and the occasional great gift from one of your siblings. For instance, we had a weapon once used by the Chalcedon. The Chalcedon, the commander of... She catches herself. My point is that we require some payment for our wares. Okay. And as of right now, there are no buying and selling mechanics in the game, so we won't be able to do that. Or maybe we can. I'd like to purchase more supplies. For a small remuneration, of course. And no, yeah, the shop's stuff is not implemented yet. So, what can you tell me about the beliefs of your church? We tell the world that you and your brethren are aspects of the divine truth of the changing God, and that each of you brings forth a particular facet of his truths. We seek to study you, so that we can become more like you. Her teeth gleam as she smiles at you. And, what are the benefits of joining your church? Who is this? Oh, okay. We can provide our adherents with useful items. We can offer safety against the depredations of those who would harm them as they sleep. Our members may be available to aid each other in specific situations. Okay. Do we want to join their group? What can you tell me about other cast-offs? Casimon laughs. We have spent years compiling our records, revered one. I know the time seems as nothing to your kind, but we must protect our knowledge. Perhaps, if you were to join our group, provide some of your experience to add to our knowledge. Yeah, you guys tricked me and acted like you could actually help me when all you could do was say, go here and maybe you can get help. So I don't think I'm going to be up for that. Ooh, we can rest here though. We would be honored if you chose to stay with us. We do request a small donation of 20 shins to offset our costs, he shrugs. We must rely on donations, even from our revered visitors. Okay, sure, I'll do that to replenish my stat pools there. Great, now we know where we can get some rest, so all that looking around that I did was kind of for naught. But let's put these guys behind us for the moment, and oh, Tiber catches your sleeve. Just remember, lad, before we start out on the day, Riss will be dead by the day after tomorrow if we don't do anything to save him. We've already saved him, Tiber. So, let me go check. Maybe I did something wrong and he's back on the gibbet? I don't think so. No, he's gone. So that's a beta bug. Just some scripting there. That's time-based and probably not properly set up to check the status of what has been done. So we need to go here to Undertown to find the other cast-off, but now that our pools are replenished, I want to see if I can deal with Finzen here. Get him to do the right thing by his levy. So, yeah, I don't understand why you think it wants to murder you. Look, he begins, obviously struggling to frame his explanation. Look, he tries again. Look, you don't track a man for days and days unless you want something, yeah? Maybe you like his shoes, or you're curious about how many shins he's got. Now, I don't have any shins, and my shoes are older than me. Only thing I got that's worth anything is my life. Anyway, I've heard stories about what levies do when they go wrong. He shudders. They get obsessed with the person who gave them life, and if they ever meet, it don't end well for the human. With something crash or whatever, I didn't come back and do this? I thought I did. Goodbye for now. Let's go talk to the levy and see if I need to redo this little bit here. Okay, so I've reinitiated the intermediary part of the quest. Let's go over here. So we get a whole fresh go at Finzen, it appears. And now we've got stats to spend on it. So did you find out anything? He asks, eyes darting around you to check on the distant levy. Yes. I spoke to the levy. He mentioned something about a Gillam Manor job. He what? Finzen says, face going pale. Keep your voice down. You tell anyone about this? No? Good. He lowers his voice. I have to be, unspecific about this, understand? Before I became a citizen, I was, I wasn't a nice person. I took things. For money. And just a few weeks ago, certain people told me they wanted to visit Gillam Manor. He grimaces, rubbing his neck. I was going to do it, but then I became a citizen, gave up a year of my life to create the levy. That levy. Something changed, he says, frowning. All of a sudden, I couldn't get the dangers out of my head. How thick the levy patrols were, or how the captain herself was looking into, one of my older adventures. He plays with the apron strings hanging from his pocket. So I canceled the job and started working at my aunt's bakery. Never did the Gillam job. And that's the truth. Well, the levy is seeing what would have happened if you did the job. He wants another year from you. Oh, I get it, he says, rolling his eyes. It's a shakedown. Give me a year or I'll tell them what you did. Well, I ain't done anything. I never killed anyone, and I don't owe him nothing. I can't keep handing out years like they're free. Well, friend, he's suffering for what you would have done. It's not fair. I ain't never been in the same town as fair, he says, shaking his head. You ever find it, you let me know. He groans. I'd go up to Government Square and tell the captain of levies what he's up to, if I had any way of explaining it. Hey, your levy is following me around, and I think it's because he's haunted by my criminal past. All right. Well, let's do persuasion again. And we will spend effort. And this time we succeeded good. Oh, for what? He says, exasperated. A couple of bad dreams? I didn't do anything outside his head. He subsides, crossing his arms as if he's cold. All right. What did he see in this other future? I get caught? Chased around, maybe? No. You started a fire that killed a lot of people. How? How much is a lot? He says, rubbing the back of his mouth. He sees some of the truth in your eyes and sighs. Fine, he snaps. Fine. But I ain't running myself down searching for a way to give my life away, he says, he rubs his eyes. The levy machine's at the Order of Truth. Go talk to the Scholarks, since you're so hungry for this. Maybe those Scholarks can bash something together that'd rip another year from me and give it to him. He grins, but his heart is definitely not in it. Good luck. Yeah, so I got the feeling that you don't really mean good luck. Maybe the levy can tell us a bit more about how to get this done. Good to see you again, sir, the levy says, still staring across the plaza. Tears roll silently down his cheeks. Let's talk about Finzen again. Please, he says, trying to smile. Please ask anything. It helps to speak. It helps to let the words out. Oh, wow, we can do that? Well, let's try. Title search. Purge the visions of Finzen's lost year from the levy's mind. You channel the tides through the barbed tangle of burning visions that infest his mind. Sizzling, steaming, they rip free of him and pour into you. Shredding your thoughts, screams, charring wood, running past smoking doors, trying to ignore the fists pounding on the other side. A world of drifting sparks and breathless horror. Small hands beneath a fallen rafter, holding a wooden toy. A bird. So we took 3 damage to intellect for that. You stagger, infested by nausea. Strong, cool hands steady you. "Watch your footing, sir," the levy says with a wide, untroubled smile. "You nearly took a nasty spill." Whistling, he sets off, leaving the charred wooden bird in the dirt behind him. Well, that's pretty cool then. So I guess that was an alternate way to get this done. Let's go back and talk to Finzen. Maybe he will give us something for our troubles. Oh, we got a cipher. Great. "You got him to leave," he says, and smiling. "Don't know how you did it, and maybe you shouldn't tell me." He rummages in his pockets. "But smooth work like that deserves a reward. Yeah, he won't be bothering you again." "Yeah, I could see that," he says, shaking his head. Whistling. "Levies are cheerful, but never that cheerful. So, what will you do now?" "Head back to the bakery, maybe. Lots of people in there this time of day. Lots of pastries need decorating, you know." "Alright, goodbye." So what sort of cipher did we get, and is it worth hanging on to? We got a gravity bomb. So this is an explosive device. Harnesses the power of an ancient Numenera engine to cause an artificial increase of gravity within its blast range. If the throw is properly timed, this device stays active for a short period of time after landing. Okay. So I don't think I want to get rid of any of these. This fine blue-green powder is sprinkled into the eyes. The powder is actually composed of millions of nanites, which can then be activated by force of will, giving the user a sense of euphoria, as well as an instant physical energy boost. Okay? So I guess that can heal. It does 3 mental damage. I guess it does mental to heal physical. Makes sense. Well, I guess we will suffer with minor Numenera sickness for the moment, just in case we get into combat and need to use one of our offensive Numenera. We shall venture into Undertown. Okay. So let's look down here for this cast-off. Yeah, we don't need meat, I don't think, sir. Halai? What is this guy over here? This violent-skimmed visitant paces back and forth before the cavern's opening. It wears fine clothes that serve to accentuate the tall, thin crest on its head. A symbol has been painted on the crest, mirroring the insignia marked on its chest. Its clothes are finely tailored and well made. The name of the creature's race crawls to your mind. It's a Varyelan. This one has temporarily chosen to be female. Her bulbous eyes flash quickly around her surroundings before focusing directly on you. "You," she says, her voice is high and fluting. Okay, high and fluting then. "I would have a word." She waves off the levies who flank her. Her gestures are short and choppy, sharp and irritated. She pauses. "Let me explain. It's these damnable Stitcher," she says. "I speak to them.
I offer, cajole, negotiate, and threaten, yet they persist in their digging, and every day another house on the cliffs above slips into the sea. If the digging does not cease, the city itself may crumble. Thus, in the name of the slave families for whom I am duly appointed agent, I strongly request your compliance. Find a way into their deepest tunnels, remove their precious eggs, and return them to me. These hostages shall ensure the future of the city above.
Okay, I'm not sure I agree with your tactics, miss. She pauses.
If you can negotiate a lasting settlement that does not require such drastic measures, you may also pursue that method. Note, however, that I have met no success.
Alright, well, I may be able to help you. I think this is the first non-human we've met.
Good. We need to stop the Stitcher before they bring down the entire substructure of the city.
She pauses and lowers her voice.
If you manage to infiltrate their lair, be sure to acquire all their eggs. I suspect that they will have multiple clusters, and we will need them all if we want to negotiate from a position of strength.
I don't think I'm going to be doing that, Miss Pella. I mean, it says you chose to be female for now, so I guess your kind can change back and forth between sexes. She hands you a synth ball with a blinking device inside.
Once you're in the lair, activate this. It will show you all the tunnels, the egg clusters, and the Stitcher themselves. Better to know what you face before you charge ahead.
Gained. Panoramic capture ball. Is that another Numenera that's going to make me get sicker? Alright, I'd like to ask some questions before I go.
Very well. Be aware that the time you spend with me is more time for the Stitcher to undermine the city.
Yeah, I'm looking for a pale woman named McKenna.
The name is familiar, and pale humans are rare. One would imagine I might recall someone of that description. Alas, I do not.
Alright, so what can you tell me about the Stitcher?
Filthy animals, scuttering insects. Who can say if they're even sentient? First and foremost, they dig. And they care nothing for the homes they destabilize or the lives that are lost when our buildings collapse. They do not speak the truth reliably, so we cannot know if they understand the damage they cause.
She frowns.
Though I suspect that they do.
I suspect that you are xenophobic.
Ask me your questions. Perhaps we shall find a way to deal with these monsters.
Well, how do you communicate with them if you can't speak to them? Her crest flutters as she hisses in irritation.
I have not the faintest idea. I do not even know if they fully understand the truth. Perhaps the one that points at itself and chitters can help. I call it check it. It can mutter a handful of words and perform some sign language. I have tried to negotiate with it, but I have gotten nowhere.
Well, perhaps I can succeed where you have failed. So what are the Stitcher doing here?
I cannot imagine. They dig incessantly. They insist upon digging tunnels underneath the city, destabilizing the crag upon which Sage's Cliffs is built. Countless buildings have collapsed or fallen into the sea, more so than is ordinary based on the shoddy construction so many of our residents employ. The problem has struck Cliff's Edge especially. Many loyal citizens have perished.
All right then. How can I reach their lair if it comes to that?
If I knew, I would go there myself. The Stitcher are quick to dispatch intruders, and I doubt they would take humans or Varyelans there of their own accord. Perhaps a construct of some sort or a digging machine. But I know little of fabrication or manufacturing, so I will leave that for you to explore.
All right. Well, goodbye. I'm going to make an attempt. All right, cautionary save game there. All right, check it. This massive creature looms over you. A scent like lightning and an underground cavern washes over you. and it reminds you of nothing so much as curiosity. It chitters and rumbles, waving its large claws through an expressive dance. Something about these smells, sounds, and gestures seems familiar. A niggling scratch in the back of your mind. At least you remember the taxonomy now. This is a Stichus, a huge, burrowing insectoid. It appears to be electrical as well. It points to itself and says, "Check it." It follows with another stream of high-pitched noise. Okay. What can you tell me about this? Well, let's ask, who are you first? It makes a harsh, clicking noise that sounds very much like "check it," and gestures toward itself. It adds another glottal, chittering phrase to that. Okay. What can you tell me about the Sticha? It scrabbles briefly at the wall, and a bit of lightning flares from the crown of antennae on its head. Its shoulders shrug, and you smell dust. Okay, so you dig. Can you tell me anything more? Its chitters and grumbles remain incomprehensible to you. It nods its head at you, and when you fail to respond, it trills, "Talk other question." Okay. Well, what can you tell me of this place? It looks at you intently, and then its spatulate fingers begin a slow and careful dance. The sounds it makes are slow chitters that rise and fall in pitch, accompanied by the smell of ozone. "A good rock, full of electricity." Okay. Ooh, try to remember how to speak the Stichus language. Oh gosh, it's very hard. Okay, let's spend some points. Succeed, yes. Your mind blurs, a memory racing up from forgotten depths. You see yourself interacting with the Stichus, the two of you patiently exchanging hand signals, a small box between the two of you translating your words and thoughts. Each time it conveys a thought or concept, the device sends a stimulus into the appropriate parts of your brain and electricity into your limbs, making you a marionette. Cool. Check it. Your muscles twitch in sympathy with these memories, and you realize that the Stichus tongue is a jumble of scent, movement, and sounds. With the memory, information pours into your mind as if a plug had been removed. The smell of granite fills your nose. As you return to normal consciousness, Check-It leans forward. "Check-It smell granite. Knowledge," it rumbles. Its spiracles vent a minuscule trace of gas. The Stichus looks at you, and its body posture and slight movements indicate a question. "Does human speak Stichus?" Your muscles remember, and you twitch the proper response. Check-It huffs the scent of lightning. So how are we making these scents? I don't know. I'm not going to question it. "Never speak checked to humans, so. Heard a memory from elder, not believe. Human almost sentient? Imagine. Grub thing like Stichus." It claps its hands together. "Speak smart. Better now." All right. I like that it shows that from their point of view, they did not realize whether or not we were sentient either. So tell me who you are again now that we can speak your language.
"Check-It. Speaker to brown grubs."
Check-It does not seem to mind repeating itself, though a slow odor of methane suggests some irritability. So, what can you tell me about the Sticha? It considers the question briefly, then emits a puff of pheromones that smells of soft rock crumbling under determined hands. It reminds you of resigned acceptance.
Speak. Check it will answer.
Okay. How did you come to be under Sage's cliffs? It shrugs, its massive exoskeletal plates grinding.
No ancient ever to tell. 4 generations only in caves. We live instinct. Only guess at legacy. Memories stolen.
It growls in frustration. It pats the wall nearby.
Stygius hatch from egg, yes? Yes. Traders come from evil bloom. Other worlds.
Check it exhales from its spiracles.
Must guess at function. Must guess at society. Maybe it advanced once. Maybe great civilization. Now only dig. Dig for clues.
Okay. So you're trying to uncover why or what happened to your civilization?
This arm. Check it raises its great arm. Dig. Draw energy from rock from friction. Eat electric charge. Store electric charge.
It points to the spiky growths on its plating.
Here, rock good. Hard. Much electric. Best found. Other places, not good.
Okay. So you dig here because you can harvest more electricity, right? Yes. Okay. So why are you digging underpopulated areas? I guess it's the same answer. The Stygius stares blankly at you, its eyes shimmering. It seems to be trying to put its thoughts into a statement you can understand.
Stygia must survive. Must live where food is, yes?
It doesn't wait for an affirmation.
Human watch every step. Avoid stepping on insects. No impact to other life. Sacrifice of others is natural order.
It taps you in the chest.
Smart for human.
It points toward the rest of the underbelly.
Not smart. Why concern? Not.
It gropes for the word.
Not sentient.
Okay. Well, that is a prejudice of your own, sir, that we need to overcome. You claim that the people in the city aren't sentient. That's just not true. The Stygius shifts its weight back and forth.
The simple humans. Fight. Eat. Kill. Try steal eggs. Not harmony. Sentient?
It thrills out a scoff. It taps you in the chest and reiterates that we are smart and the rest of them apparently aren't in its eyes. Your digging is causing problems for the people above.
Not concerned to Stygia.
Okay. So what can we do to convince it? I'd like to ask other questions. What do you think of Peli? The Stygius seems discombobulated for a moment.
Who?
Then it thinks a little more. Then it sprays out a blast of pheromones, and you smell the sharp tang of acid and weakened stone. It smells like distrust.
Peli. Fish head grub. Not a good person.
It leans closer.
Wants eggs. Can smell desire. But eggs in safe place. Hidden. Not let thieves take eggs. Harm broodmates.
You smell hardened shells, calcium, and silicon, baking around the Stygius, the scent of determination and safety.
Not let anyone harm eggs without fight.
Okay. Well then. I have come to ask you to stop digging underneath the city.
Why? Where we go? Give reason to stop.
Well, You could move deeper beneath the city.
Have been. Rock not good. Soft, not efficient. Electric, not strong. What else?
Let's try the persuasion option here, because he doesn't seem to care at all about humans. Do you want your people to have a future? Do you want war with the humans above? They will collapse your tunnels. They will destroy you. Alright, here goes nothing. Failure. Darn it. It considers your words for a short time, then looms tall.
No. This home can stop humans if need. Maybe humans move instead. They build on food. They surprised at eating. We stay.
So we can try again? Come again to ask you to stop digging.
Say no before. Where we go?
So we can promise tribute. Let's try to appeal again to its sense of decency, maybe. The humans above are suffering.
When humans dig, they care for us? No. Why we care for them?
Alright. I can promise a regular tribute of power sources for your people from the city. The Stygius leans forward, interested, and the scent of sparks rises.
Why they not offer before? This good. What else?
I've given all the reasons I need. If you don't stop digging, your people have no future in this city. Retry again. We're burning through our int points here. And I will spend again. I want this to succeed. Good. It considers your words for a time, and the scents that surround it vary from the frightening to the mundane. At last, the smell of synth and strong glass waft past your nose. And check it says,
Human give good reason. Yes. Stitcha comply.
It scratches the wall and drums a pattern there.
Stitcha move deeper. Burrow to lesser rock. Starve for human sake. Not fight with humans is better.
Good. Thank you for your cooperation. Now let's go give the semi-good news to Pelia. Or Pelai, I guess is how I've been saying it.
I hope you have good news for me.
Yes, I have news about the Stygia.
Good news, I trust.
Yes, I've handled the negotiations. She lifts one foot to begin pacing, to start considering her options, and she stops. She slowly turns towards you, each eye rotating separately. She lowers her foot and turns to face you squarely and bites off each word.
What did you do?
I convinced checked that digging deeper would be a benefit to both the Stygia and the humans. There's no need to steal their eggs.
You left their eggs with them. How will we enforce their exile without that leverage?
She smooths her crest and blinks her eyes slowly.
Fine. We can work with this for now. We have time to engineer another solution.
She stops, a thought striking her.
Did you promise them anything else?
I told them that the city would send them a gift of electrical Numenera from time to time. She presses a slightly trembling hand to her head.
I empowered you to negotiate on behalf of the city, it is true. I wish you hadn't done that, but perhaps it was the only way to achieve optimal results.
She considers.
Very well. You have achieved your objective. Here is your payment.
Thank you for the lovely money. Our business is finished here, as is ours for today, friends. If you've enjoyed this look at Torment Tides of Numenera, leave a like below. It really does help. Consider subscribing to the channel to be notified when I upload new content. And until next time, be excellent. to each other.